It's with great pleasure that I introduce you to Flip du Plessis from the Marble Rock IDS Moonrock Global Opportunities Fund, conceived in 2014. Greetings, I'm Andrew Ludwig and welcome to Black Onyx Alternative Investments, where we bring you face-to-face with some of South Africa's most talented boutique asset managers and industry stakeholders. It's with great pleasure that today I get to introduce you to Flip du Plessis from Marble Rock. Flip, thank you very much for joining us today. Got a couple of short questions. Maybe you could tell us a bit about your background and how you got into alternative investments.
I was lucky enough to be appointed by Decillion back in 1998. At that stage, Decillion was, my opinion, one of the leading companies to provide hedge solutions for corporates on their interest rate risk and their currency risk. I sat there on the prop desk. And at that stage, little did I know that that was the foundations of what I'm going to do going forward in my life. I was surrounded by a couple of very talented guys, and at that stage, I was really about, where's the opportunity in the market, in the fixed income market specifically, and also got extensive experience in options, both on the bond and the swap side. Also got to know a guy, he was one of the directors, Ace Meyer, and he was one of the pioneers of the hedge fund industry in South Africa. So I was with Decillion for about 5 years. I also had a stint at the agricultural co-op where I was, got to know the soft commodity market, started seeing opportunities on a relative value basis between our grains in South Africa and where it prices relatively to grains in the US or grains in Europe. Then back in 2006, that was about March of 2006, I approached Ace and I presented fixed income and commodity investment ideas to him. Luckily, at that stage, he was managing one of the biggest long-short equity hedge funds in the country. And he said, don't pitch your ideas, come, I want to convert this fund to a multi-strat fund. Come work for me, and then I had the privilege to work under one of the pioneers of the hedge fund industry at that stage. Then in 2007, in about October, we rolled out a fixed income hedge fund, and then the next year, 2008, we rolled out I think probably the first soft commodity hedge fund in South Africa.
Flip, can you maybe tell us a bit about the firm and the various strategies that you represent?
So Andrew, the firm consists out of an investment team and a compliance and support team. The investment team consists out of a bunch of guys that's really passionate about what they're doing. We've got a diverse skill set, and it is quite a unique combination of talent to have in one team. The guys are also, they all love what they do. They find joy in finding new investment opportunities. And they just all very energetic. We're lucky enough to have a guy by the name of Rick Walker. That is he did his M thesis on currency over and undervaluation, and he built a model on that perfectly suits into our investment style. We've got a guy by the name of Barry Ross. At some stage he worked with PIMCO in Australia, and his core focus is fixed income, specifically South Africa, but also on the global fixed income markets. Then we have a guy by the name of Andrew Hartle. He brings interesting resource investment ideas to the table, and then myself, I'm involved in both the fixed income market and the commodity market, the soft commodity market. On the compliance and support side, we have a very strong team there with a strong legal background, which is led by a guy by the name of Rod Bass. He had 12 years experience in London as a fund lawyer, and then he came back and had another 2 years at stint at Maitland. We're very lucky, for them to support us and we can only focus on what we need to do.
Flip, can you tell us a bit more detail about the fund and how the fund differs from other hedge funds and other mainstream investments?
Andrew, I found when I started in the hedge fund space that specifically when I started with a fixed income hedge fund, any fund in any industry goes through a period where there's no proper opportunities. And what we tend to do then is, that's our job. We need to create opportunities. We need to sit in front of the investor and tell him a story. What we're doing with our hours during the day. What we're doing with their money. And you can't help it. Whether it's long short equity, whether it's fixed income, whether it's the commodity markets, any fund and any strategy would go through a period where there's no proper opportunities. And I saw it in the fixed income market, I saw it in the soft commodity market, and most recently we saw it, the market sees it in, the long short equity guys are going through a pretty tough time. The longer I've managed money, the more I realized that the way I want to manage money is to rather sit out of the market than to take marginal opportunities. And luckily I had the luxury to sit out of the market and have patience to wait for the right opportunity to arise. And what makes our product unique and uncorrelated and diverse from, we've got skills and managers and talent in any specific asset class. Like I said, we've got Rick on the currency side, we've got Barry on the fixed income side, me on both commodities and fixed income, and we've got Andrew on the resources side and the equities. So we've got skills to spot the opportunity in any market. And we've got the luxury to sit out and only wait for the real opportunities. And on an opportunistic basis, on a dynamic basis, we can allocate money to where the opportunity lies. So you would typically find that the investor would ask questions like, how are you guys doing? Because we see the equity market is not doing well, or the capital market is not doing well, or the rand is tanking. We're not correlated to any of those movements or of those markets. We believe we can make money in any market, and we believe because we have the patience to sit out and wait for the real opportunities when the risk reward is properly skewed in our favor, we can then enter the market and take real advantage of that opportunity.
Flip, thank you very much for joining us today. I really appreciate you sharing the detail on your background and the firm and the strategies that you guys represent. And thank you for tuning into Black Onyx. For more details, visit us on www.blackonyx.coza. We look forward to working with you and collaborating. Thank you. Black Onyx is an authorized financial services provider and warns that there are risks associated with financial products, and past returns do not guarantee future performance. The purpose of this content is to present different regulated asset management strategies overseen by regulated firms and individuals, whose opinion may not necessarily be shared by Black Onyx and or the members of the public. No information or opinions contained in these interviews constitute a recommendation or invitation in any jurisdiction to invest or otherwise deal in alternatives and traditional investments as represented by Black Onyx.